Hello, everyone. I'm Charlie, and welcome back to the Premier League DraftKings DFS Slate breakdown. Apologies for the lack of a video for the Wednesday slate. DraftKings was just really dropping the ball in terms of hosting contests. Like I just when the time I was ready to record, like the time I normally record, there's just nothing out. Like I had nothing to really showcase for prices. Contests didn't come out till like super late in the evening on Tuesday, and it was just a mess. So apologies for lack of video there, but we're right back at it for this two-game Thursday slate. And of course, I did cover Wednesday's slate in the FSI Discord that can be accessed through the website below. But let's just get on to this Thursday slate. Two-gamer Fulham Brighton and Bournemouth Tottenham. And once again, it is slightly staggered, similar to Tuesday. However, we do get a half an hour rather than 15 minutes because of the nice changes Premier League made with lineups coming out an hour and 15 prior to kickoff rather than just an hour. In terms of projected lineups and set pieces for Bournemouth, it should be Tavernier, Tavernier and Clivert actually. If Cook ends up starting, you'll be the guy who's supposed with Tavernier. And if Tavernier doesn't start, it'll be Christie as the left-footed option there. They're a righty-lefty split no matter what. So it's always some combo of Christie, Cook, Tavernier, Clivert. And then for Tottenham, and this team, it should be a Poro and Kulusevski split. It's interesting that they don't have Madison in projected. He has been rotated out a couple of times here, so it doesn't surprise me at all that they wouldn't have him in. If he is in, he'd be the majority set taker, potentially splitting with Kulusevski or Poro. Like they don't really have a set routine. All these guys kind of just hop on whenever they feel like it of Madison, Kulu, and Poro. For Fulham, oh no, I should. Okay, yeah, for Fulham Brighton, it should be Pereira Monopoly. And if we see him on the bench again, it ended up being Lukic, interestingly enough. Nelson did take a couple of one-offs, but Lukic has kind of established himself as the backup set piece taker. I think Pereira probably play though. I think he was out for disciplinary reasons. I think they've probably gotten over that by now, and I expect him to start. For Brighton, it's Matt O'Reilly these days. He's the main set taker. Finally have gotten to see him take some corner kicks after being injured for forever or just never getting corners when he plays. But they had a couple last game, and he did take. If there's no Ayari, he potentially might even have Monopoly. If Ayari is in, I expect them to split. Estupinian, of course, did take a couple as well. That was after O'Reilly got subbed. O'Reilly still should be the number one guy in terms of set pieces for this team. Prices. The big forwards are Pedro, Son. I think they're both in play. Brennan Johnson's not bad either. It will be. I know he's been just incredible. Still a GPP play for me. Like, I just don't really think his logs are that sustainable despite him doing this for so long. And his price has gotten so inflated lately that I feel like he doesn't have the upside to kind of match how expensive he's getting. So for me, decent GPP play. For cash, I just don't really think he's worth there. I'd rather go to a Pedro or a Son or a Brennan Johnson. Jimenez, once again, I think more of a GPP play, not on the floor for me, but another guy who's just been pretty good lately. Fulham, like they keep like being down in games a lot of the time, so it really helps him a lot in that case. But Brighton are a possession-based team, so I don't know if they'll be as dominant as they have been. So once again, more of a GPP play for me. Adama Traore, I could see getting there in cash. He's been solid when in, decent floor to him. Sub risk there is the worry. Same with Reece Nelson's like the same thing as Adama. Clivert and Werner, I think these could both be interesting plays at their prices. Clivert, if there's no Lewis Cook, set pieces on pens, as we saw against Wolves, where he had a hat trick of penalty kicks, which is pretty wild. And then Werner, he is another guy who has taken a few corners in the past. I don't think it'll be a favorable lineup for that here. But once again, just a cheap way to get exposure to Tottenham. And their games just have so many goals just because of the way they play typically. So I don't mind a Timo Werner just because he's 6K and is good Tottenham exposure. Minte, if he is in, I don't think is bad. Potential set pieces there, although I don't think he'll take over O'Reilly. And that's it. But really, you can make an argument for any forward on a 2-game slate. It's hard to really write anybody off completely. Midfielders, Madison, if he's in, great play. Harry Wilson, if he somehow gets a start. Potential set pieces there, I don't mind that. Kulusevski, I think, is a great play at 6,900. Pereira, super solid at 66. Tavernier, I don't mind at 64. Like, there's a lot of really nice plays on these teams. They're both, all four of the teams really are super attacking, and because of that, are super nice for DFS. There's kind of a lot of good options, despite it only being a 2-game slate. Other guys I'm looking at, Lewis Cook is a little much for me. I'm not really interested in that. Ayari, I don't mind. I'd rather go Matt O'Reilly just because he's the more, I honestly bet just better IRL player. I know his points have not been that crazy last game, but I'm happy to go back to the well there. I feel like he's got a lot more upside than Ayari does. I think Ayari's the more defensive of the two. And Christie, 3,700 if there's no Tavernier. I don't mind that as just a punt mid. But yeah, quite a few pretty decent set piece taking mid options. Defenders, Poro, one of the first guys in. It's so nice that he's kind of been priced down a decent amount from that like 7K he was a couple of weeks ago. I'll happily play him at 4K, 5K almost every time. Super attacking. Nice floor, potential set pieces. Just give me all the Poro. Estupinian, similarly. Him and Anthony Robinson are both just solid fullbacks. Estupinian, if there's no O'Reilly, no set pieces likely. But even then, he had like 19 forward last game. I think he took 2 corners after O'Reilly got subbed. And he still had he had like 13 crosses from open play. So Estupinian love, Anthony Robinson, maybe not quite as high of an upside as Estupinian, but once again, just puts up solid numbers. I think they're both great options. Other guys, Tete is fine, but I play any of these 3 expensive options over him. And then after that, you're looking at punts. Dragusin, fine at 3K. I think he had a really nice game last time out as well. Yeah, he had 7.5 floor without a clean sheet, which is super solid. Bassi, fine. Any of these guys just to make the rest of your build work, Julio. But yeah, there's some really nice pay-ups. Like I love Estupinian, Robinson, and Poro here. In terms of a core, Poro. I'm gonna put Kulusevski in for now. If Madison and him both play, it gets a little bit more tricky. Potentially just go both. I'm just gonna have Kulu for now just because he was in projected and Madison wasn't. Though it could definitely flip flop depending on what the actual lineup is. Another reason to check out the Discord through the website, where I will update a core after lock. But for now, yeah, I'm going Kulu, Poro, and then it will be. Who's my other guy? That's gonna happen. I've already forgotten. What are the games? Yes, Matt O'Reilly. That's who it was. God, I just completely left my brain. But yeah, Matt O'Reilly is the value. Kulusevski, all 3 set piece takers here. Super solid numbers from Kulu and Poro. I like that a lot as a core. And that'll be it, guys. Videos will be coming thick and fast with all these Premier League slates. And I'll see you for the next one.